Has anyone ever stopped Erling Haaland? I'm not sure they have, but we're going to try. You're going to have to try.
Yeah, I didn't expect this at all. I said it plenty of times, even before the Brazil game. I didn't expect, and right now I didn't expect it. To be honest, to be quarterfinals with Norway in the World Cup is quite surprisingly even for me. So yeah.
Erling Haaland, Martin Odegaard, and Norway are set to face Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, and England in the 2026 World Cup quarterfinals. This is the kind of matchup fans wait for.
Yeah, obviously it will be a tough game for sure. It will be a different test. Miami will be hot, and they're a really good team, some dangerous players. They proved that. Obviously, a great win for them today. So, yeah, to get far in the World Cup, you have to find something deep within. And like I just said there, let's just enjoy it. I don't want to think about that one yet. I want to enjoy this, and then the prep will start as usual, and it'll be another great game.
If you like fast, attacking football with real edge, this one has all of it. Big names, big pressure, and two of the best goal scorers in the world going head-to-head on the biggest stage. Right now, there may not be a more dangerous striker in world football than Erling Haaland.
I think he's such an unbelievable player. The things he does, the numbers he puts up, you're just in awe of how good he is and the level he's at. We're going to have to maybe try and stop how they play and work on those things and stop how the balls go into him and how he gets his chances, because he's so deadly in front of goal, and we've got to be aware of that. We've got to know that, but also it's not just him. They've got other good players as well that we play against regular basis in the Premier League that we need to be mindful on, and yeah, they're a really good team. I think that's what their biggest super strength is, that as a team, as a unit, they're so strong. The Harry Kane Haaland debate, yeah, will live on. I think completely different strikers, but both, they're the two for me at the top of their game, and in this tournament have been two of the best players at this tournament. And yeah, it's a spectacle, I suppose, for the fans. That's going to be a good one, and to see who comes out on top. And I hope it's Harry, and I'm sure it will be. I think we've got that confidence in him, and he's playing at probably the highest level he's ever played at, which is madness to say because of what he's been doing for so many years. To say that this is the best is crazy, really, but. Yeah, he's such a good player, such a good leader, and yeah, we'll be leaning on him for the game for sure.
For Norway, he's scored 62 goals in just 54 international appearances. In only 4 World Cup matches, he already has 7 goals. He doesn't need many touches to wreck a defense either. Give him a little space, one loose moment, and he can turn the whole game upside down in seconds. Then there's Harry Kane on the other side, and if England goes all the way, people really might start talking about him like football royalty. England looked finished against DR Congo, trailing late in the match, and Kane dragged them back into it. First came the huge equaliser in the 75th minute, then that cold finish in the 86th, one of the best goals of the tournament so far, to push England through when they were staring at the exit. The star power is unreal, but it's not just about the names. Jude Bellingham set the tone early with those 2 goals, and the second one was the real dagger. England had already gone in front, but that follow-up hit even harder because Mexico looked shaken right after it.
It's a special game, yeah, definitely. I think for me it's super special because I play in England and I'm born in England, and yeah, you also play against teammates and everything, so it's a bit, it's not weird, but it's, I don't know the name in English. It's a funny game, and it's going to be nice.
You could feel the panic creeping in, and England saw it straight away. For stretches, it felt like the whole game was leaning toward England's end, but they held firm with smart defending, a few big breaks, and the kind of composure top teams live off. Then, the moment came, and England pounced. Mexico's players were pointing fingers, the shape was falling apart, and England did what experienced teams do when they smell weakness. That's exactly why they came into this tournament as one of the favourites.
Yeah, I think there's some clear favourites out there. England's one of them, so I think all of you should put every single pressure on the English lads.
They know how to punish mistakes, and they don't waste chances when the pressure starts cooking. That leadership matters too. With Harry Kane leading the line, England has one of the best to ever do it, setting the standard. But Norway has its own difference maker, and that's Nyland. He was massive for them. So now you've got this clash, with Declan Rice charging forward, Kane bringing that killer touch in front of goal, and Haaland lurking with the kind of threat that can blow up a game in one move. He can hurt you in every direction, And then you add Bellingham on top of that.
I think I've come up against Haaland quite a few times now in my career, so I know what he's about, I know what I'm about, so we all know Haaland's qualities and you know what you can do in front of goal, but I really do believe in myself, in my abilities and what I can do as a defender, so you know, I think as long as we as defenders believe that we can go into that game thinking, you know, we won't give him a yard or go into that pitch knowing that you're going to him from scoring, I think, you know, as defenders, that's the only way to go about it.
Is this a meeting of the two best strikers in the world?
Yeah, definitely. Two strikers on top of their game right now, so yeah, it'll be nice to witness greatness on the pitch.
So now Nyland is staring at a full wave of pressure from England's attack. And if Norway wants to survive this, he may need to deliver another performance like the one he produced against Brazil in the round of 16.
I mean, playing against Brazil was kind of crazy for us Norwegians, and to win against Brazil and then go and play England in the quarterfinal in the World Cup is in the USA is quite special.
People have talked a lot about his display against Bosnia and the big saves he made there, but for me, the Brazil game was on another level. Against Brazil, the quality of chances Nyland had to face was brutal. The speed, the movement, the finishing angles, all of it kept coming at him, and he still stood tall. That was the performance that really carried Norway through. But the reason they actually got over the line against Brazil came down to one man, Erling Haaland. The 6'5" wrecking machine, the last Viking still standing, the guy who only needs one clean look to flip a match on its head. And people always point out that Haaland stays central, that he doesn't drift all over the attack.
I think it's a good thing because I like the Americans. I think they are kind of hilarious as well, and they are funny. So I like the way they are. So I think it's just good, and it's been honestly on every single thing with the World Cup so far here has been amazing, from the games to the stadiums to everything has been amazing.
But that's part of what makes him so dangerous. He lives in the areas that matter most. He's deadly in the air, ruthless in the box, and he can strike when a game feels completely flat. That's the scary part with him. Just when nothing seems to be happening, one cross drops in, one defender switches off, and Haaland is already there to punish it. People call Messi one of the greatest ever, and one thing he's always been known for is not wasting movement. He doesn't run just to run. He reads the moment, waits for the opening, and then strikes. You can see a little of that in Haaland now too. He's added more patience to his game, more timing, more awareness of when to explode and when to hold back for the right opening. Because when Haaland does go, he can absolutely fly. At full speed, he's right up there with the fastest players in world football, and once he gets moving, defenders are in trouble. But one thing that didn't get enough attention against Brazil was his defensive work. On set pieces, he was huge inside his own box, winning headers, clearing danger, and helping Norway survive some ugly moments. Norway doesn't get past Brazil without that side of his game. It wasn't just about goals, it was about doing the dirty work too. And really, that match should have ended 2-0. Brazil got a soft penalty, Neymar buried it, and suddenly it was 2-1 with a little late tension for Norway. But over the full game, Norway were better. They had more of the ball, they controlled the rhythm, and they forced Brazil to do the chasing. Even the penalty drama stood out, especially with Vinicius Jr. not stepping up earlier when a lot of people expected him to. In matches like that, the biggest stars are supposed to take over the biggest moments, and for Brazil, that part never fully came together. Vinicius Jr. never fully grabbed that moment for Brazil, and that's a huge reason Norway stayed alive. Nyland came up with a massive save to keep it 0-0, and that stop changed the feel of the game. What made it even crazier was that just a few minutes earlier, Norway thought they had already gone ahead. They broke into the box, finished the move, and for a second it looked like they had the early lead, only for the offside flag to wipe it away. So when you look at what England just came through, they've already been tested in a brutal setting. They're not likely to see a tougher atmosphere than that. The altitude was a factor, the pace was relentless, and the physical demands were serious.
It's important to joke around, I think. I think every one of you know me now, that I like to joke a little bit and I like to have fun. So I think that's a key my daily life to joke around and of course train good, of course focus well and prepare well, but you also need to joke around and you need to enjoy the moment, and that's what we've been doing now.
These are elite athletes, operating at the highest level, covering huge ground, pressing, sprinting, recovering, and doing it all under non-stop pressure. It was the kind of match that drains you physically and mentally. And for England, it wasn't just the game itself. The crowd made it feel even more hostile. They were badly outnumbered. Every Mexico stop sent the stadium wild, and every big moment came with noise raining down from the stands. There were even drinks thrown in the direction of England players, which crossed the line and took some shine off the atmosphere. It added another layer of chaos to a match that already felt wild from the opening minutes. And England had to keep their heads while everything around them was trying to knock them off balance. That crowd had no filter and no shortage of noise, and it turned the whole match into a pressure cooker. England had to deal with all of it. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead, and even though there were stretches where Mexico looked like the sharper side, the whole game changed once England went down to 10 men. From that point on, it became a test of survival. They had to defend for long stretches, absorb wave after wave, and stay calm while the pressure kept building. The penalty ended up being massive for them. At 2-1, with Mexico already pushing and holding the extra man, it felt like the game was hanging by a thread. Then Harry Kane stepped up and buried it to make it 3-1. And suddenly, England had room to manage the match instead of hanging on by their fingertips. Mexico still found another goal, but Kane's finish gave England the cushion they desperately needed. That's the thing with him. When the game is on the line and a big moment lands at his feet, you trust him to deliver. And that brings the focus to Martin Ødegaard for Norway. He's had some big openings in this tournament, including one in that last match that easily could have ended up in the net. And if Norway is going to beat England, he's the key for me. Nyland will need another huge night in goal, and Haaland probably has to score too. But Ødegaard is the one who can tie it all together. If this turns into the kind of shootout it could become, Norway may need 3 goals to get through, because both of these teams look fully capable of putting up 2 on their own. Right now, it feels like both teams are carrying serious firepower into this one. You can easily picture Haaland getting on the score sheet, Kane doing the same, and that's a big reason England comes in as the favourite. Norway has had moments where they've looked vulnerable at the back. Their best defensive performance of the tournament came against Brazil, and a big part of that was how well they controlled the ball. Sometimes the best way to defend is to keep the other team chasing, force them to run, and slowly drain the energy out of them before they can build real pressure. That's where a player like Sander Berge becomes so important for Norway. He's been outstanding in the middle of the park, keeping possession, covering ground, and giving them control when games start getting wild. He doesn't always look flashy, and if you passed him on the street, you might not think twice. But once he steps onto the pitch, he's a problem. He's strong, quick, and he's been one of the biggest reasons Norway has been able to settle matches down when they need to. But if Norway is really going to pull off the upset and crash into the semi-finals, Martin Ødegaard has to be the man who makes it happen. And if that moment comes, it's going to happen in a brutal setting down in Miami Gardens. July football in South Florida is no joke. It's going to be hot, heavy, and draining from the first whistle. Both teams can handle tough conditions. But if you're Norway and you know England has more depth on paper, you'll take any outside factor you can get. When you're trying to knock off the stronger side, ugly conditions can become part of the plan. That's why I think the conditions give Norway at least a small edge. If this match were being played indoors, somewhere like Atlanta or at SoFi in Los Angeles, where everything is cleaner and more controlled, I'd lean even more toward England. In a smoother, more polished game, England's depth probably shows up even more. But in heat, humidity, and a match that could get messy, Norway has a better shot of dragging this into the kind of battle they want. And if Norway is going to make that count, Martin Ødegaard has to rise to the moment. He's the captain, the playmaker, and one of the most complete players in this tournament. He's already shown his quality, but this is the kind of match where he has to leave a real mark. Not just neat touches and smart movement, but the final ball, the killer pass, the finish if it falls to him. Norway needs that version of Ødegaard if they're going to break England open. One thing that still doesn't get talked about enough with Haaland is how good he is as a passer. People focus on the goals, the size, the power, all of that, but some of his passing in dangerous areas is top class. He doesn't need a mountain of touches to change a game. One pass can split a defense, create a clear opening, and suddenly, Odegaard is staring at the kind of chance that can define a tournament. And that's the lesson of the World Cup every single time. You never know when your moment is coming. It could be in the first minute, in stoppage time, or in the 118th minute with penalties around the corner. But when that chance arrives, you have to take it. Players wait 4 years for moments like this, and Norway knows better than most how rare they are. Some nations miss 1 World Cup, some miss 2, and before you know it, 8 or even 12 years have gone by without getting a shot at this stage. You may only get one real chance in a match like this, and if it comes, you have to bury it. That's why one of my biggest predictions in this game comes down to Norway's stars. If Norway wins, I think Odegaard scores and Haaland gets 2. If England wins, the job is simple in theory and brutal in reality. Keep Haaland from turning it into one of those monster nights. Because with a player like Haaland, you're not realistically expecting to hold him scoreless. At this stage, against this level of competition, that feels like wishful thinking. He's too sharp, too strong, and too dangerous around goal. The real goal for England is to stop the damage from getting out of hand. In baseball, they talk about avoiding the crooked number, not letting one inning spiral into disaster. It's the same idea here. If Haaland scores once, you live with it. If he gets 2 or 3, the whole match can get away from you fast. So yes, England has to be physical with him. They have to crowd him, lean on him, disrupt him, and make every touch uncomfortable. But there's only so much any team can do against a striker in this kind of form. And that's where the tactical balance gets tricky. If England puts too much attention on Haaland and starts drifting away from its own game, that can backfire too. Their strength is still in attack, with Kane, Bellingham, and runners charging forward, not in sitting back and playing scared. On the other side, Norway probably can't approach this the same way they did against Brazil. That more cautious style worked in that matchup, but England is built differently. If Norway sits too deep and gives them too much control, England has enough quality to pick them apart. Norway has to find a way to protect itself without losing the aggression that got them this far. Brazil got chances in transition against Norway. There were 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, and moments where the game opened up for them, but they just couldn't finish the job. The openings were there. That's the warning sign for Norway going into this one, because if England gets those same looks, they're far more likely to cash in. Their finishing is too strong, and their big names are too reliable to keep wasting clear opportunities. That's the difference for me. Harry Kane is not the kind of player you expect to disappear in a moment like that. England has too much quality in the final third, and if they break through in space, Norway could be in trouble fast. And the prize on the other side makes this even bigger, because a semi-final spot likely means a showdown with Argentina after that wild comeback win over Egypt. This World Cup has been chaos in the best way, and the Golden Boot race is turning into its own drama too. Messi is sitting on 8 goals, Mbappe has 7, Haaland has 7, and Kane is right there on 6. Kane could easily get to 7 or 8 before the semi-finals, and if Norway stays alive, Haaland could be right there too. It's not crazy at all to think we could see multiple players hit double digits before this tournament is over, which tells you just how insane the attacking talent has been. So, for my prediction, I'm going with Norway to pull it off 3-2. A big reason is still Haaland. Obviously, it starts with what he can do in front of goal, but his value late in games matters too. If Norway gets in front, whether it's early or deep in the second half, his size becomes huge in both boxes. He can hurt you going forward, then turn around and help defend crosses and set pieces when Norway is trying to protect the lead. I just trust Haaland to find a goal somehow. That's why I still think Bellingham gets one, Harry Kane gets one, and we're looking at a match that's level after 90 minutes. But when I really look at Norway's path to winning this thing, I keep coming back to one idea. They may have to survive the full storm, drag it past regular time, and turn it into a battle of nerves. If they can keep England from running away with it early, defend with discipline, and stay alive deep into the match, penalties start to feel like one of their clearest roads to the semi-final. So my final call is Norway advancing after a 2-2 draw, then winning 3-2 in the penalty shootout. I think the stars show up, I think Kane scores, I think Haaland scores, and I think the drama goes all the way to the edge. but the player I keep circling back to is Martin Odegaard. If Norway is going to pull this off, he has to stamp himself on the match in a major way. And then there's Haaland. What he did in the last round was too big to ignore. He looked calm under pressure, he made huge saves, and if this really comes down to penalties, I honestly believe he has the kind of night in him that can swing a World Cup quarterfinal. This match has everything. Haaland, Kane, Bellingham, Odegaard. Big personalities, huge pressure, and a place in the semi-finals on the line. It feels like one of those games that could give us a moment people replay for years. Whether it's a late equalizer, a huge save in extra time, or one cold penalty that decides everything. These are the nights the World Cup is built for, and this one has all the ingredients to be an absolute classic. And if you're rocking with Matchio and you love football talk with real energy all year long, make sure you stick around. Hit like if you enjoyed the breakdown, subscribe to Matchio for more World Cup coverage, predictions, reactions, and all the biggest football stories as they unfold. Drop your score prediction in the comments too, because I want to know who you've got in this one and whether you think Norway can really shock England. If you're watching from home, enjoy every second of it. If you're lucky enough to be in the stadium, soak it all in, because this feels like one of those matches people will be talking about for a long time. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.